Hello everyone, it's Friday, April 26th. This is Liam McMahon with your daily moving average video. End of the week. Pretty interesting end of the week, especially in yen pairs. We had the Bank of Japan last night. They didn't do anything to excite the market. The yen strengthened a little bit, so yen pairs dropped. And then this morning we had a very disappointing preliminary US GDP print, which further did a number on dollar yen, dragged some of the other yen pairs down with it. I'm going to run through some of those and kind of go from there and take a look at some of the majors and see what we see for next week. So, please take a moment, pause the recording, read the risk disclaimer, which should now be on your screen, and then we'll get started. Alright, so here we have the aforementioned dollar yen. Again, the context of what we're looking at here is this sort of assault on 100, such as it is. Back in early April, really, second week of April, we mounted our first, the pair mounted its first assault on 100. It seemed to be a foregone conclusion that we would break 100 and head higher. As you can see here, the high is 99.94, so by 6 pips we held under that 100 level. Then we pulled back rather sharply, but where we pulled back to was technically significant as well. Pulled back to this 50% fib, wicked briefly below it before heading higher. Before then we headed towards 100 again, and again failed right around that 99.90 mark. And we have since begun to fall back again, opening up a double top possibility here on dollar yen. In terms of the moving averages, obviously bullish moving average configuration with this significant rally, 50, 100, and 200. We are trading now below the 50 and 100 here on the 4-hour chart. We do have this 200 period EMA though that is worth keeping an eye on. As it looks like it's going to roughly coincide with a 38.2% fib of this rally from basically 92.40 to the 99.94 highs. We haven't made a new high. This original fib seems then to still be valid. So this 38.2 could provide some support, especially combined with this 200-day or 200 period EMA. The problem with yen pairs right now is that we have this double top. We couldn't breach 100, and we started to pull back from it. But this pullback to this 50% fib is just so well done technically that you'd have to think that the market at one point intended to push the pair past 100. Certainly it hasn't gotten any help the past few days. But I would be wary in trading yen pairs in either direction, really. I don't know what they're going to do. I feel like you don't necessarily hear that enough from analysts, but I don't know what dollar yen or the yen crosses are going to do. Dollar yen is especially unclear. I'd certainly be watching this 97.12 region for possible support, maybe a long opportunity there, but we could just as easily cut lower and start a reversal. Kind of tough to tell. Some of the other yen pairs are a little bit clearer, I think, than dollar yen, euro yen being one of them. We have a nice sort of resistance line here on euro yen that we're trading around. We do have some horizontal support areas down here, but I'm looking for, again, euro yen to find support here at this 200 period EMA, potentially for a move back higher. Back higher above 130, 110, I think, or so. We do have support down here as well. This, to me, would be a very appealing buying area if we could get down to this region here. I think basically 124, so about another 300 pips lower. But that could be a nice opportunity to try to establish some euro-yen longs. Depending on what kind of price action we get heading down to there. If we look, that 124 figure is basically that 618% fib, almost precisely. So 123.70, I guess, is the number that I'd be watching on euro yen for possible long opportunities. Aussie yen, a little bit different. While Euro yen kind of looked like a bull flag, this Aussie has been fairly weak lately. We do kind of appear to have some sort of bear flag going on here on Aussie yen. So if I was looking to short a yen pair, Aussie yen would probably be my choice. And I would look for a 4-hour close below this 200 period EMA, which we are testing right now. This test may be a good indication of what we will see on the other yen pairs when they find their 200 period EMA here on the 4-hour chart. But if we do manage to break down below this 4-hour 200 period moving average, I would be looking cautiously for opportunities perhaps to get short Aussie yen. We do also have this nice trend line support as well. So close below 100 would seem to open up a good deal of downside on Aussie yen. Jumping away from some of the yen pairs, we'll take a look at dollar CAD. I pointed this number out yesterday in the chat room and on Twitter. The 618% fib, as well as this descending trend line, comes in 101.62. We wicked below it. We're bouncing back above it. I would not be at all surprised to see the market head higher from here. On the other hand, if we do manage to close below this 618 fib, say around 101.50, that could open up a little bit more downside on dollar CAD. But this is a good do or die moment for the rest of this week and the beginning of next week here on dollar CAD, as we fight with this 618 fib and trendline support. Aussie dollar, fairly weak. You can see, let's clear some of these. You can see that we fell short of finding this 38.2% fib. The 50 period or the 100 period EMA here on the 4-hour chart, holding price down around 103.40. We are in a full bearish moving average configuration, but as I pointed out, we are trading in a nasty range here on Aussie dollar. So while certainly bearish pressure, moving averages turning bearish again, we are near the bottom of the range. Hard to get too terribly excited about short possibilities. Pound dollar, on the other hand, fairly easy to get excited about some of these short possibilities. Been mentioning this for a while, that we could see 155 on pound dollar. We just breached 155. Now look out for 156. 156 would be an ideal opportunity for shorts, as we have this 200 period EMA as well as a major 50% fib upcoming on pound dollar. So pound dollar will definitely be on the watch list going forward. I will be looking for this trend line to break, and then I will be looking to establish shorts for the possibility really of an equal move. So another 1,400 or so pips to the downside on pound dollar. So definitely something to watch for next week. Some increased pound strength likely up towards 156. Once we get there, though, I think all bets are off, and we will see what we get. Last but not least, everyone's favorite pair, euro dollar. Euro dollar still trading in a very clear short setup. You can see here that we have a significant decline. We rallied back to test the 50% fib, put in a major bearish engulfing candle off that 50% fib and head lower. We've been chopping a lot lately. We have major daily moving average resistance here, 250, 100, all holding price down. I do expect to see this pair continue lower, but there's always a possibility that this bull flag looking device going on up here could break to the upside, and then all bets would be off. But I am looking for 129.50 to give, and then the pair to head lower. So that's what I'm keeping an eye on for next week. I hope that's helpful. I hope you guys have a terrific weekend, and I will see you all on Sunday night.